Not only am I gonna set up for an epic coffee cinematic sequence, but tasting. That's the best part. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this coffee. Hello, hey everybody, welcome to the vlog. I just wrapped up an episode of Revamped and now currently going to set up for tomorrow morning to do a really cool cinematic coffee sequence that I have been dying to make for ages, what it seems like now. But I had a couple things on my mind. I wanted to ask you a couple questions that kind of came up as I had a couple gaming sessions recently. We've actually been playing a lot of board games recently, which has been friggin' amazing. Like, come on, like that's the life right now. So I've been super excited to talk about so many different games. But one question came up as I was playing through, I think Lords of Hellas most recently was the one that we played. Lords of Hellas, okay? Epic scale of a game. I did a tutorial on it, did a cinematic review on it, maybe like a year or two ago. As I'm like relearning these complicated games, this question came to mind, which is, how many board games do I actually remember? How many board games can I actually teach off the top of my head? And honestly, I feel like it's almost zero, like maybe between 0 to 3 board games. But what I mean is, I want to pose this question to you actually too, because I actually asked a bunch of you on Instagram, but I want to pose this to everyone on YouTube. So for those of you watching right now, how many board games do you really know off the top of your head? I mean like really know the board game to the point where you don't even need the rules for setup. You don't need the rules to know different player counts, like 2 through 4 players. You know it without a rulebook, just like that. How many board games do you know that you can set up that way? There were a few people that mentioned like 10 games, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't believe you at all. There is no way that you know 10 games without even referencing the rulebook. That's something you have to see to believe. If I were to take a quick glance at my collection and see which ones I could teach by just pulling off the shelf and just setting up the game, I think currently Grim Forest would be one. I could probably do that 100%, it's easy. Marvel United, I would hope so by now. And yeah, that's all I got actually. I think out of the more complicated games, I could probably do Dwellings of Eldervale with the amount of times we've been playing through that game, but maybe those are the 3 that I can probably do 90 to 100%. A part of me kind of just wants to commit once a week to remembering a game in totality. A part of me. I'd probably start out with Scythe. I have some new wallpaper in. I got this specifically actually for product photography, but it's a really nice, kind of like a navy blue. There's almost a hint of green in here, but I think it's gonna look really cool for a background for videos in general. So we'll see how it turns out with the coffee. I wanted to use black at first, but all the coffee products I'm using is already black, so there needs to be some kind of contrast in that setup. You know, also kind of scared me a little bit the other day, thinking about this very thought, this very idea. What if you were playing a board game wrong the entire time and you committed that rule set to your mind? You knew a board game front to back, but you played it with one minor rule wrong. What do you do? I think just getting game time sessions in recently kind of reminded me of the idea that it's a lot of work to have a board game night, because you have to revisit all the rules and review all the rules again before you actually play, because if not, your board game night is just going to be a train wreck. kind of what it was for Lords of Hellas. It was a pretty hectic one. I don't remember that many questions coming up when playing Lords of Hellas the last time I played for the epic cinematic sequence I did way back when, but playing it recently kind of changed my mind about it a lot. On top of that, learning these epic scale board games, they take a lot of time. And I spent like half a day relearning Lords of Hellas and also learning how to play Kemet as well. It took me half a day to learn and memorize those games as much as I could before our board game night. And even then, we were still struggling through Lords of Hellas. It was still fun though, regardless. That's what's always nice though, is to have a good gaming group that's open to kind of relearning the game with you. This is what happens when you have a shoot at the beach. Can you imagine if this was a camera lens? Oh, I would cry. So now with this covering up the entire wall, I'm gonna set up one light over there, have this table sitting on top of the paper, and then we'll set up all the coffee equipment on top of that table. So this video that I'm doing is for Many Worlds Tavern. They sent me this whole coffee box and a couple weeks ago, and it smells so good. I've been dying to open it, but finally got a little slot to work that in. And I think I might just set up a chair next to the table after I finish the B-roll and do the video with that backdrop. If you're wondering whether I have a coffee addiction, a coffee problem, a love for coffee, alright, so the only thing I'm missing here now is pretty much the kettle, so that we will reserve for tomorrow morning. But thank you all so much for joining me. Alright, so this is going to be the epic setup. I don't know if you've seen it already by the time you're watching this video. I don't know if I posted it earlier before this, but if you didn't see it yet, then I hope you will enjoy it. But either way, I just wanted to bring you guys along and ask, a couple questions that have been kind of on the back of my mind as we're playing games again and just seeing how that is. So some food for thought. How do you feel about the number of board games that you can memorize and just know off the top of your head? I'm excited to hear your thoughts. Thanks for joining me in the vlog, and I'll see you all in the next video.